Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is officially back. This Neo DLC is going to be major. We're going to be getting 30 plus characters, 20 plus customizations, 5 stages total, and we're also going to be getting new variants of already existing stages within the free updates, the additional story missions, the game mode. It's going to be a great time, and I wasn't necessarily expecting them to reveal a ton of content within yesterday's trailer, just because they revealed most of the characters, customizations, etc., all within the first 2 trailers, right? But this one was jam-packed with content. We're going to be going through it, just discussing things and maybe going over things that you might have missed. So without further ado, make sure to drop a like on today's video, especially if you're hyped for the return of Sparking Zero, and let's break things down. Now, we do start off with the red gi costume for original Goku. It's just going to be the appearance change. Unfortunately, it's not going to be coming with the Oozaru transformation. That's something that I wanted to see, just because in the classic Tenkaichi games, he was able to transform into the Oozaru state. Now, I know all of the other, or at least most of the Saiyan characters were able to do that as well, such as Bardock, Fasha, King Vegeta, Raditz, Nappa. It makes sense for them not to be able to transform into the Oozaru. They don't currently have that in Sparking Zero, but I really wanted it for Kid Goku, just because that would actually make sense, especially if they would equip that transformation for this specific red gi. But moving forward, we do have one of the new characters. Look at the model, dude. They captured the original Dragon Ball feel to the T. Just the facial expressions in general. I even believe the physique, he's a bit more tone or leans down, right? And of course, he's going to be coming with additional attacks. Look at that. He does the scream where he overpowered the Dodon Ray, if I recall correctly, from Mercenary Tao. And that scene right there, reference to the actual anime. I mean, all of these attacks are, right, kind of hilarious. And the volleyball strike there. Now we have a playable 23rd World Tournament Chi-Chi. She was not in the prequels, to be fair. OG Dragon Ball Tien wasn't in the prequels as well. We only had the Z variant of Tien, correct?
You're finished.
I believe she was first playable in that one Dragon Ball game called Super Dragon Ball Z, I think. Super Dragon Ball Z is like that game created by the same developers who made the Street Fighter 2 game, if I recall correctly. It's more like this true, proper fighting mechanics behind it. But in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, it was her mini self, right? So this again is the 23rd edition, and she has additional moves where Goku comes in and saves the day, right? Yes, the 23rd World Tournament edition of Goku as well. We have the correct gi, the version, I guess, where he has his weighted pieces removed, like the wristbands, the torso, and the shoes, right? And they're just doing this epic 1-2 combination, just taking turns, and the palm strike. Dude, CyberConnect, or not CyberConnect 2, my bad. Spike Chunsoft, they're cooking with this DLC. Now we know why it took them ages to reveal anything new. The last information that we got, I believe, was 3 months ago, right? And that was the announcement trailer. Now we have this final trailer. The release date for this DLC, if I haven't mentioned, by the way, is going to be July 30th. So in about 6 more days at the time of recording this video. Now we have the OG Dragon Ball Ma Jr. Same thing like Chi-Chi and Tien. He was not part of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 or the video games before that. We just had the early version of Z and the Piccolo fused with Kami, right? This is completely from original Dragon Ball. I think this attack here is supposed to be Demon Explosive Wave, or the one that he clashed with Goku's Kamehameha, the one that destroyed the actual World Tournament area, and then we got like that deserted flat plain stage. It would have been cool if we actually got that stage in this DLC, but that's not going to be a thing. Anyway, so attack there. It tracks down the opponent. You can see Goku trying to evade all of that, but nope. Boom! To be fair, a lot of the attacks do track, like when you use an energy wave. So this is going to be, once again, 23rd Goku. I'm so glad that they added an entire separate Goku, because in BT3 we had the early, mid, as well as the end version of Goku. Same thing like in Sparking Zero. We still have all those three, but I was afraid that they were just going to be putting Meteor Combination as an outfit preset for early Goku. They said, nah, we ain't doing any of that. We're giving you guys another Goku. And again, additional attacks. He's using the boost Kamehameha, going back to the facial expressions, facial features, animations, whatever you want to call it. 10 out of 10. Hey! Wait, he just kind of recovered himself. Uses the Kamehameha from the bottom of his feet and just knocks out Piccolo. Wait, will Piccolo be able to remove the cape and turban? I feel like that should be a thing. I like how Piccolo looks completely different from the Z variants, right? Again, they captured the OG Dragon Ball art and aesthetic down. Top tier stuff for sure. And we have him raging over here, transforming into the giant Majunior state, which he does confirmed in Dragon Ball Superhero, you know, the Gohan Beast movie. It's not necessarily a power increase, it's just a placebo, just to kind of fake your opponent out, to scare them. I mean, you can still be giant and cause havoc and chaos, but no significant power boost towards your health, stamina, or strength, right? Boom! Cool animation. Look at his forehead, bro. Or just his entire head in general. He is raging. Oh yeah, so this just confirms my question from before. Yeah, we have battle damage suit for Piccolo, and same thing goes for Goku. You can see we have the entire fit right there. And then after the Demon Explosive Wave, boom, battle damage. So, of course, these guys are mainly using their super attacks or maybe even ultimates, but typically whenever we get these cool animated cutscenes, they're coming from rush moves or ultimates, correct? Fast forward a little bit, just because we've seen it. That's such a cool combination. We have even more quote-unquote dual ultimates later in the trailer for a ton of other characters. They're not necessarily dual ultimates, right? They're just ultimates for one of the characters, and then a secondary character will pop in for that ultimate. You know what I mean? It's not like the Raging Blast series where you have to pick the two characters to activate the dual ultimate, you know? That would be cool, don't get me wrong. So, giant transformation, and he's going to have a different version of the mouth energy cannon. I like how it's a change of color, right? It's more of this cyan, transparent, whitish look to the energy wave. Kind of nice there. Nothing but chaos with the giant feature. Meteor Combination. This and another special move that Goku does, a different version of Goku, at the end of this trailer, probably like the two best things. We'll get to that later thing, obviously, but again, Meteor Combination was part of the early Goku from BT3. Since they decided to create this new 23rd edition of him, I'm glad they brought Meteor Combination back. Super iconic. Look at that. Isn't this insane? If I were Piccolo right now, I would be afraid, scared for my life. Dude charged up without necessarily providing any ki, nothing but raw strength. Lunges forward. The mini version of Ryuken. Look at him. Brute strength right there. Almost put Piccolo out of commission. Sternum check. And it is a bit shorter, right? To be fair, this may not be the entire ultimate attack, right? Maybe he will do the consecutive series of punches and kicks just before this, like the final blow. And Then he jumps up into the air. The downward Kamehameha. You know what's funny? End of Z Goku's also getting a new ultimate attack with the blue outfit, right? He does the downward Kamehameha. And I literally mentioned, dude, that reminds me of Meteor combination. Hopefully they put that in the game. And they did. The first time when he does it at the end of OG Dragon Ball, and then he does it again at the very end of Dragon Ball Z. I know it's not exactly Meteor Kamehameha or combination, but, you know, downward energy wave. Of course, it's going to remind me of this move. Yeah. The Z Sword? Will Gohan be using an actual sword moveset where he wields the weapon, swings, and attacks the opponent with it? I'm assuming so. Why else would they have Gohan show off the Z sword? Now, this very well could be for his intro, or maybe he would just use the sword for his actual rush attacks or ultimates, but the Supreme fits. Isn't that epic with the blue Patara earrings? Everything about this attire, I'm glad it's in the game. This is actually something that a lot of people wanted, right? Dude, that stance that he does right there, anime. So anime. So we don't necessarily get to see much from this character. Of course, yeah, the outfit is in the game, but will it change a super attack of his? Will it give him the actual sword move sets? We don't know. We have to stay tuned, or at least wait until the DLC actually comes out.
Exactly the best with swords.
It kind of looks like an ultimate attack though, right? So this one is going to be DBS Gohan? No, that's the superhero variation. Ultimate Gohan. Yeah, this is going to be the standard Ultimate Gohan in the game. He looks cool. Dude, look at the art. It looks exactly from the Dragon Ball Super era. You know what I mean? Too cool. Kamehameha, which is nice, just because the one currently, it's Burst Kamehameha, where he does a couple attacks first and then the energy wave. I don't know what this one is, if it's just going to be the energy wave itself, or maybe a tag team with Piccolo, right? He uses the special beam cannon. Now Piccolo, it's been confirmed on the website, he's getting an additional attack, you know, the one that he used against Salza with the stretchy arms. I think this is a different version or a different attack than that, just because tournament power themes. This one looks more like Kami fused with Piccolo instead of the first variants. I don't know, but special beam cannon. Krillin, I think he's going to be spawning in Android 18, where they both do that cool magenta volleyball attack where it goes back and forth. Because I think Android 18 also appears in this trailer. Not sure about that. But new attack for Krillin there. Yeah, there she is, right? So this might be one of those two character type attacks. Boom! This move is actually in Xenoverse 2, right? And they added the finale of what Goku and Frieza did against Jiren. Android 17 should be here, the MVP, but it seems like it's just going to be these two. It's nice, right? Where Goku does that volleyball stance, gives Frieza that boost. But the cool part about this, look, even the aura, he has a halo as well, so does that confirm an additional accessory? I'm not entirely sure if Frieza already has this halo in the game. But look at the animation in the background. Look at Goku. He's just like, yeah, you see him flailing his arms. He's like, go Frieza. They actually teamed up, which is still crazy thinking about this to this day. But this is the cool part, where he kind of tries his best to turn on Super Saiyan, or just increasing his power. But since this is at the very end of the tournament power, they have like 0 ki, right? So it reminds me of when he first transformed into Super Saiyan on planet Namek. But now it's kind of like the opposite, the reverse. No ki. Dude, that scream? Listen to this.
You monster! I need you to throw me, Saiyan!
Bruh, shouts to Sean Schimmel. Great voice actor for sure. And then, yeah, the Goku and Frieza punch, probably one of the cooler ultimate attacks, at least in my personal opinion. It's cool because didn't they have this scene in the actual story mode? Don't know if it was for Goku's side or Frieza's side. Was Frieza's story even playable? I kind of forgot. But I do remember the scene being in the actual story missions. Now we have the in-game version of it, I guess you could say. Is this what true strength is? Whatever Jiren said, right? So as I said before, there's two things I liked about this trailer. The Meteor combination, 23rd Goku, and False Super Saiyan. Going back to that Sean Schemmel roar. Yeah! The very first time False Super Saiyan Goku is in an official Dragon Ball game. The Budokai series, the Tenkaichi series, all the other Goku adventure games on the Wii, PlayStation 2, Xbox, Burst Limit, Rage and Blast, more of the popular ones, Battle of Z, Ultimate Tenkaichi, Xenoverse, Kakarot, Fighters, Action Squadra. False Super Saiyan Goku never appeared in any official Dragon Ball game. Up until now, shout out to Sparking Zero. Dude, Sparking Zero is just literally the dream Dragon Ball game. You know what I mean? Of course, they could still improve on some things. Different categories are lacking, the departments, right? But they're trying their best to improve the game. Obviously, with this major DLC upcoming, the true Dragon Ball sandbox where you can just recreate any battle you want. It's getting to that point at least. Which, by the way, we are getting a new stage of the Future Ruins, right? The one that's currently in Sparking Zero is going to be more of the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks timeline. And this new variant that will be dropping is going to be part of the free updates, not necessarily part of the paid content. So that's cool there, as well as two other stages. It does seem a little bit dark because whenever the character does use an ultimate attack, everything darkens down, right? But it's going to be the daytime version, which I think it shows a little bit more about that later on. I believe it's supposed to be capturing the scene where Trunks goes back to his timeline and finally destroys Android 17 and 18. You know the tank top that they're including in the new outfit for Trunks, right? Where it's just a tank top and not necessarily the jacket. Yeah, it makes sense since they included that one. Why not include the new improved Future Ruin stage where he actually becomes victorious? Anyway, the character, it seems like it's not going to be an actual legitimate transformation, which is unfortunate, not going to lie, but it's still cool how they included this form in the game. So first of all, the appearance, great. We have that brownish hair color, the golden skin, of course, the aura, the false Super Saiyan. Obviously, I was going to say pre-Super Saiyan, before Planet Namek, before he got the actual Super Saiyan transformation during the Lord Slug movie, right? Where you just completely obliterated him, powered him. You know what's cool? Goku did two epic techniques within this film. False Super Saiyan being the first one, and he also did Kaioken times 100. If you guys remember when Piccolo kind of transferred his energy over to him, he powered up, and then we have like the silhouette of Goku and Piccolo. Yeah, that was Kaioken times 100, believe it or not. Which the most I've ever seen him do was Kaioken times 20 during the Planet Namek saga. And then beyond that, in Dragon Ball Super mixed with Blue was times 20 again in the Tournament of Power against Jiren, you know? So that's a cool feat he did there. But as I was trying to say from before, it's going to be more of an ultimate attack, right? An Awoken mixed with an ultimate move, because we see him right here in his base form. This is going to be the activation of the ultimate attack. He transforms into False Super Saiyan. He does his rapid speed movements, exactly what he did in the film. Follows up with the sledgehammer. And then consecutive energy blast barrage. And he reverts to his base form. Frame by frame, you see that. Wait, hold on. Explosion. Goku's still going crazy. I think we see him right there. You see, he reverts to his base. So, again, it's cool that they added False Super Saiyan, referenced the film even more. It would have been better as a legitimate transformation, obviously, but I'm still happy with this. I'll take it. Now, the question is that we've seen a, I guess, non-canon transformation, you know, one from the original Z films. Can we see more of this? Super Kaioken. They're including Piccon within this DLC. We don't necessarily have the other World Tournament stage, so that could be another future update. Give us the World Tournament stage, or the other stage, whatever it's called, other tournament, that one, as well as Super Kaioken.
Serious.
They might include it as an ultimate attack like Fall Super Saiyan, but I will be happy with it. So this is going to be one of the secondary stage that's part of the free update. It's a variant of the Destroyed Planet Namek. It's supposed to be a bit more similar to the Second Coming Broly movie. And this outfit for Videl is just going to be a visual change, I believe. No additional attacks, just because she does do this one here, which I believe is already in the game. So outfit for Videl, outfit for Kid Trunks with the green jacket. It's cool how they even gave him the necklace that he got from that one wizard person, or the guy who was kind of like, I think he was supposed to see the future or like give out premonitions, whatever that random character did, you know. But he snatched his chain, got his necklace, wearing it, and something similar to Videl. It's just an outfit, a visual appearance. And we even have the battle damage blue gi for Gohan. Yeah, that's so cool. I've had enough. And then starts charging up the Kamehameha. Ooh, two peak. You know what's crazy? They gave us the Second Coming stage. 3 new outfits from the film: Videl, Trunks, and battle damage uniform for Gohan. But they didn't give us the Second Coming Broly. Well, to be fair, this is Legendary Super Saiyan, so he looks the same in the first and second film. Well, that's technically not true because he's supposed to have the scuff marks over his chest if this were to be the actual Second Coming preset of Broly, but I don't think he's getting any of that. Anyway, I wanted the gold Super Saiyan transformation for his first form, right? Because in the first film, he was being suppressed with the blue hair, the necklaces, the accessories, the gold fashion that he wears. In the second film, since Paragus is not necessarily controlling him or suppressing him, he has that golden color, right? That should have been an outfit, dude. They added the rest of the Second Coming stuff, but not like the main focus of the antagonist, Broly himself. Make it make sense, dude. That would have been so cool. But anyways, we get to recreate the film now. I'm happy. Oh, speaking about the first film, dude, they're making these attacks extremely cinematic, or more dynamic, which is funny to say because Spike Chunsoft, they've been doing that ever since the release of the game, right? The animations, cutscenes always went this hard. But I don't know, man. This one right here, we're watching the film quite literally. I like how the camera zooms in and then panels out, right? Kind of like with the explosion going on in the background, the dying planet, I believe that's what it's called. Speaking of the dying planet, yeah, that's the new stage right here, which is a different recolored version of Wasteland. Now, I believe there's like the giant blue moon in the background, the planet that's colliding with this one. So that's cool there. But the final scene, new ultimates, where Goku does that mini Ryukin, or it's just a normal uppercut enhanced with his fellow comrades' energy. But it's cool because in Fighters, that's where they first included this, more of this dynamic scene from the movie, right? The dramatic finish. But now we have it in Sparking Zero. Look at that. Green versus golds. Boom! They even capture these slow motion effects to it. What does he say? Like when he punches them, the real fight starts now, like from the actual movie. But here he says, I'll never forgive you. I'll never forgive you. And then we got the, you know, explosion from Broly. His ki do be overflowing 24/7, so it kind of makes sense. He just implodes, literally implodes. He's twitching over there. They got the animation down, dude. And then Goku, he just flies up towards the explosion for whatever reason. I mean, he kind of propelled himself forward with the punch, right? Boom! Woohoo! That's me with this upcoming super limit breaking Neo DLC. So cool. July 30th, once again, 6 more days. And that's basically it for the breakdown. I did miss some things. For example, new preset for Z Goku, obviously. I think this is going to be for his end presets, right? With Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3 because of the hair strands. It's not necessarily the mid version of Goku, even though I think that would have been a bit more accurate to the actual timeline the film took place. But Z and Goku, it's going to be cool because now we can use this beat up battle damage uniform for Super Saiyan 2 and 3 as well. Which, yeah, something that we don't already have. Anything else that I missed? Battle damage for Gohan, I think I talked a little bit about that. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about the entire trailer, or just all the contents in general. We're going to be getting 30 plus characters, 20 plus customizations. Now this one right here, I believe, yeah, so this variant of Goku, shouldn't it technically be the early version of Goku? Not the mid, because the mid Goku can transform into Super Saiyan from planet Namek. Yeah, this should be the one before. Wait, I think we can tell by his hair strands. Yeah, cool. Correct me down below if I'm wrong, but this very well could be the early Goku. Ooh, so early Goku will have this transformation. So now all the presets of Goku will be able to transform. Woohoo! That's nice. Of course, this is going to be Dragon Ball Super Goku. Makes sense. I like how they're just upgrading all the variants, right? Krillin and Android 18 with the team attack. New outfit there, I'm assuming. It's funny because I think this outfit's already in the game for Kami fused with Piccolo. So is it just going to be a new preset with a new skill? I think that's how that's going to be. Ultimate Gohan. So this, I don't think I mentioned, but it's pretty straightforward. It's going to be Z Gohan base form. Dude, imagine transforming into Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 2 with his outfit. That's something that we haven't seen in the actual anime itself. We do see him transform or unlock potential unleak while he still has the outfit, and then he asks Kabito to switch his uniform to be more like his father's, right? Yeah, very nice trailer. This is it for today's video. Just wanted to do this complete breakdown, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace!